What we need are, like in cancer, like in diabetes, like in hypertension, like in HIV/AIDS, we're going to need combination therapy because the way this disease evolves is multifactorial. You have inflammation, epigenetic changes, neuronal energy failure, mitochondrial dysfunction, hypoxia and ischemia from microvascular disease, protein chaperone misfolding and failure. So we're going to need a combination of drugs to attack this disease, just like in cancer. And there's a lot of excitement now because there's 126 clinical trials of drugs. There's always over 250 clinical trials testing 126 drugs. And our foundation just put out a clinical trials report, which is available on our website, which delineates all of these drugs. And it's amazing because when I started in the field back in 1980, there were no drugs in clinical trials. Okay, and now we've got 126. Our foundation has supported about 25% of those, which is amazing. And there are drugs in clinical trials that are anti-inflammatory now, that are epigenetics. We're supporting a number of biotech companies that are doing this. So it's actually a really exciting time to be in drug development and drug discovery for Alzheimer's because there's so many targets that we know about now from the biology that could be the focus of drugs, and we're testing a lot of them, including 17 repurposing drugs. In other words, taking drugs that are on the market and testing them for, they might be on the market for other neurodegenerative diseases like ALS and Parkinson's, or disease-modifying drugs, and repurposing them and testing them in Alzheimer patients. And a number of them will report out in the next year or two. So if they're positive, right, the advantage of repurposing is if these trials are positive and the drugs are shown to be safe, then the next day I can prescribe these drugs off-label for my patients. I don't have to wait for FDA clearance. I mean, the big opportunity when you discover a repurposing drug that works is that then we can go back and do new chemistry, create new chemical entities, get new indications for unique drugs, and build the space because we have a proof of concept. So, for example, in ALS, we're repurposing riluzole, which is the only drug that's really ever been shown to slow the course of ALS. We're repurposing that for people with Alzheimer's disease right now, and I expect that trial will wrap up in about 2 years. So that's pretty quick. We're going to have an answer, and it's unlike when new chemical entities have to go through a regulatory environment that takes 12 to 15 years. Once these trials come out, it opens up a new area, but the drugs can be used off-label immediately.